Hey guys, this is Risk here, back with episode number 3 of No TLO. Today is TLO versus Barcode. This is our third episode. ZvT on Frozen Temple. So without further ado, let's get started. There we go. Alright, so this is actually the same opponent that TLO faced on the previous video. And this one is also on Frost. I think I said Frozen Temple by accident. My bad. Sorry about that. Let's do it. So, Frost, this is interesting because this is the game before the one we analyzed yesterday. So, there might have been a fair amount of mind games in that last episode that I was not aware of because I didn't know that these two opponents played each other twice. So, let's see what we have in store for us. So, we have a 10-minute game going on here. Good old... Okay, so there are sound effects. I was just making sure. And this time, it is going to be cross-spawn. This is like the Zerg's ultimate dream. Cross-spawn on Frost. Although some Terran players do enjoy long distances. For the most part, it's universally accepted that cross-spawns is an advantage for our Zerg player over here. So everything's standard, 17 hatch. He is going to be doing your normal scouting pattern. The nice part about this is you can immediately deduce where they are after your two overlords reach this side. So that'll make TLO pretty happy. 17 gas, 17 pool. All is well with TLO. Our Terran player just going for our standard Reaper play, of course, into our CC. Mine's a little mineral right there. That's a nice little touch. SCV Scout looking around, trying to find out where TLO is. He's going to be very sad when he realizes it's cross-spawn. And now the Reaper has spawned, going into a second barracks with a reactor. Very interesting. So it's not going to be your very quick factory play, which some people do like on larger maps, just having that map presence. And it looks like this Reaper going in here, not going to do a crazy amount right now. I'm more interested to see in what our Terran player is going to be doing in a moment. From the looks of it, I want to see if TLO gets a third queen. I've been wanting to keep an eye on this lately. I'm assuming he gets a third queen. He's floating a lot of minerals right now. So 4 Zergling speed. Okay, so he's actually queuing up multiple Zerglings. So this is up to 10 speedlings. This is definitely not normal. Drone is going to get... Is the drone going to get lucky? Drone gets lucky, gets a free third. So our Terran was checking to see if the Zerg was taking this base, which was a reasonable check because the base was a little bit delayed. But TLO getting a relatively standard third base timing. What is interesting are these Zerglings. This is completely... That's a lot of damage that shouldn't have been done. This is the downside of going for that second barracks as opposed to a factory. If our Terran player would have gone for a factory, these Zerglings would be dead. And actually... it's a little bit of a gamble from TLO to make all these speedlings as opposed to drones. Notice the second gas timing. This is at 3:30. Pretty standard for TLO to get it right around here. This is so that you can have your Roach Warren down to stop any sort of Hellbat timing. As we saw in the last video, TLO died because he didn't get the second gas Roach Warren up in time. But because it's cross-spawn, it's a lot less likely for a Terran to successfully do a Hellbat timing. So I think you could delay this for a little bit. I'm curious to see if this has a specific purpose in mind, where that gas is going to be headed. Because a lot of times you'll see Zerg players wait to get their natural fully saturated before they get their second and third gas. Terran's having to lift their CC, so at this point, TLO is at a very big advantage. Actually, I don't know why the Terran doesn't come down and claim this. He might be worried that there's more Zerglings floating around, which he's actually correct, but this is still plenty of Marines to go ahead and do this. Oh no, SCV, my friend. He's doing a little dance right there. This Reaper should be dead. Nope, not dead. Let's go ahead and check the units tab right now. 32 drones, 27 SCVs. So Terran needs to get this base established. I don't know why he didn't do it sooner. I think he was expecting some sort of all-in, but after he spots the third, he should have the peace of mind to know that he takes. Why is he not taking this yet? He's really... Okay, so he's really looking for scouting information right now, and TLO could actually deny it if he really wanted to. What do we got going here? Single evolution chamber at around 4th flat right now, and just mass drones coming in here. Notice that TLO... Oh, TLO canceled that gas. What? What did he see? Where was this gas? I'm going back. Alright, what did TLO see that made him cancel this gas? I'm gonna go to his vision. What are you doing, TLO? Alright, this is for educational purposes right now. What did TLO spot that made him cancel this gas? We'll fast forward to 4 minutes and 40 seconds, but this is the important question. So he sees that there's no defense. He sees that everything's safe. What? Okay. What the heck? Alright, so seemingly, I'm guessing what was going through TLO's mind is because he's denying the natural, he feels like because it's cross spawn, it's safe enough that he can get away with droning up really, really greedily in the next minute or two, which seems like a pretty reasonable assumption. Cross spawn offers you a lot of safety, and also because, oh, you know why it was? Oh, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. Because there was no Hellions out, he knows that it can't be that Hellion timing, so he doesn't need the 330 gas to get the Roach Warren to stop the Hellbat Marine timing. I think that was maybe the logic. I'm guessing that's the logic that was going through his head. Is because he knew that there wasn't a factory, because there's no Hellions out yet, he knew that he could cancel that gas because he didn't need that gas yet at all. That gas is for stopping any sort of Hellion all-in. That Roach Warren is a safety precaution, which totally makes sense. That's actually very smart. Very, very smart. And TLO is just droning like a madman right now. Getting his third gas at around 4:30. No, never mind. That's his second gas. Second gas at around 4:30. So that seems to be the timing he wants to go for there. Double engineering bay from our Terran. If we go to units, 48 drones to 30 SCVs. So, like, TLO is way ahead right now, as long as he can stop this double medevac shenanigans. We got Spore Crawler coming down, Spine Crawler coming down. TLO knows that it was that double medevac. He spotted double medevac over here with the scouting. And let's take a look here. TLO using Queens. He's target firing the medevac right now. Very smart. And it looks like the Terran's going to have to get out. Oh, barely gets away. So this is kind of the... oh, no, don't lose. That's dead. Let's just pause here. This is the bonus of having that many Queens early on. Is he has a lot of Queens. He's got a Queen here. He's got 2 Queens here. He is going to have to rebuild Queens, but he already has 55 drones at 5 minutes and 30 seconds because of that kind of earlier third base. And this is what happens as a Zerg player when you avoid taking your gases as long as possible. He has crazy fast saturation on his third base. And actually, in a moment, it looks like he got a transfuse down. His creep spread should be about to do very well as well. And also, in terms of Overlord spread, he has some really solid vision on this map. Although this Overlord could be repositioned to maybe like right here. And this Overlord's in a decent spot to see when the third gets put down. But right now, TLO is he has way more workers because of cross spawn. He was really greedy, didn't get the Roach Warren. He canceled the second gas because he knew there wasn't a timing coming. And now he's going ahead and he's taking his 5th and 6th gas because he has full saturation on all of his bases. That seems to be the logic behind it. Whoa! So TLO's going to hit a 1-1 timing right here. Does he have bailing? Oh no, his lair's just finishing. And it looks like... Oh no, this timing. Okay, so TLO earlier spotted the double engineering bay. And the problem as Terran, if you're doing this, is that a Zerg player can just Baneling bust it. TLO doesn't even care if he kills any army. If he can cancel both of these upgrades, it's absolutely huge because he has his own 1-1 on the way. Yeah, that's just ouch. Ouch. And actually, our barcode player has to actually come back and defend here because he can't lose all of this stuff. So that is, wow. That was a huge play from TLO. So TLO was probably going to do that play regardless. That'd be a little bit risky if our Terran player was going to poke his head out and take his third at that time. But for the most part, pretty nice play. And now our Terran player is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, so to speak. I know that's overused so much, but he's going to have to try to stop this drop. And TLO is making pure speedlings right now because let's take a look at his units, guys. He has 62 drones. Because he took such a greedy third, TLO has no reason but to make pure units right now, which is what's going to make this probably a little bit weaker than it is. 2 more Queens on the way. This is probably for anti-medevac or just for creep spread right now. I'm a little bit disappointed in TLO's creep spread. I think it could have been a lot better this game, based off of the fact that those active tumors were kind of just chilling there. But yeah, this Terran player doesn't have a third base yet, and it's 7 minutes. That's just brutal. And because he's made all those extra Queens, look at that. Oh, he's got it. Yeah, that's the power of... this is one thing I was guessing was going to happen. With the Queen range change, you're going to see a lot more of this, which from the looks of it, mass Queen to stop any sort of like Terran timing, like they'll target fire the medevacs with their Queens, and you just have mass Ling Bling to clean up everything else. And also Mass Queen is very nice for stopping drops. It's very good for transfuges when you're going to Ultralisks, which looks like that's what TLO is going to be aiming for right now. +2/+2 on the way. Baneling speed. He has full saturation. My only point of criticism is, once again, TLO, take your 4th base, man. Be more aggressive with taking your bases. In terms of vision, TLO is just, he's got so much vision. He's still, like I said, he needs something right here, needs something right here. Maybe, I always like to have something over at this bridge over here too, because that's a common drop route. But TLO is pretty much wiping the floor right now. Look at the supplies, it's insane. And pretty much with Hive on the way, Mass Spores on the way, he is setting up so safe. He's realized that the only way the Terran can come back into this game, and this is actually, I'm gonna webcam over here. This is actually something that's super important for you players, is when you are this far ahead, the most important question is not, how can I win this game, but how can I lose this game? Because if you can cover all of those angles, you almost can't lose. In this case, TLO has correctly identified, okay, I have full 3-base saturation, it's 8 minutes, and my opponent still doesn't have a 3rd base. How can I lose this game? Drops. That's the only way pretty much that TLO can lose this game. So what does he do as we jump back into the game here? He has a lot of queens. He currently has 6 queens, almost 7. He's putting up static everywhere. Well, not in his main base. He doesn't need that angle. He's putting up static almost everywhere. He's spreading creep spread. He has his overlords looking for drops. This Terran pretty much doesn't have a way back into this game because he doesn't have a 3rd base. And also, we forget, TLO sniped the double engineering bay, so at this point in the game, TLO knows that the longer the game goes on, the bigger his advantage gets. Whether it be with upgrades, tech, +2/+2. I mean, this is a butchering. TLO has so many advantages in this game. And notice the Roach Warren coming down. This is always TLO's response to Liberator. See, ooh, burrowed Banelings. You know what, I'm not even going to look, because none of this is important. This stuff doesn't matter. This fights, they don't matter at all. What matters is that TLO has an Ultralisk Cavern +2/+2, and his opponent doesn't even have 2/2 yet. And there's Adrenal Glands on the way, and a 4th base on the way. Creep spread is still like, I want this to get used, but I mean, that's one criticism is that sometimes he gets a little fancy with some of this stuff. This isn't really necessary. He doesn't need to do any of this. It's nice, but he could really consolidate himself and not worry about spending his APM on like small engagements like this. Even though it looks like it's doing a lot, and it is doing a lot, the game over mark is this point. I would also say if I was TLO, I'd be getting a Spire right now, a Greater Spire. Continue to spread creep on this back alley so drops can't really do anything for you. I'm also curious if TLO does his rally points over here, which is good for stopping any drops. He also should be dropping creep spread right here, probably over here. He should be looking around for hidden bases as well. I really don't care about anything that's going on in the front right here. It's very nice, it's very fancy, I love the harass, but the Terran player is already dead in the water. So you're looking for weird ways that you can lose, which is hidden bases, not spotting drops, and all of those other great things. 70 drones versus 40. These Ultralisks are going to mark the end point for our Terran player. Also, the nice part about having 7 queens, if I was TLO, I would send like 6 of them over here and just transfuse for days. And I know there's a lot of fancy burrowing stuff going down here, but none of that really matters. Matters is that TLO got a quick 3rd, absolutely nailed the Terran by taking out his engineering bays, which put the Terran super far behind. The Terran also had a delayed 3rd base, and TLO had a quick 3rd base. He had quick tech. He had great vision the entire game. This Terran player really didn't really stand a chance this entire game. After losing the double engineering bay, and after having the delayed 3rd base, it really hurt the Terran player because TLO was progressing his tech so quickly. TLO had 9-minute 30-second Ultralisks, and not only 9-minute 30-second Ultralisks, but he did it comfortably. He did it with full saturation, and he didn't really cut too many corners. But yeah, what a nice game from TLO. APM 505 to 356, and I like the units lost tab. It's also very telling. Our Zerg player lost 1,000 more resources, but it doesn't even matter like at all. Terran player never got his 3rd up at the 10-minute mark, and our Terran player never really got his 3rd up. Anyways, that is game number 3. Thank you for watching, guys. This was TLO versus Barcode, and the winner of this game was TLO. I totally made that up on the fly. Let's see. TLO. I like you, TLO. You're pretty good. You're pretty good at the game. I'm not gonna lie. You're decent. You're solid. I love it. I love it. And this is day 3. So thanks for watching. That was a good time. tomorrow will be episode number 4. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe, because I'm having a good time, and I hope you are too. So, peace.